Yo, what's up everyone? It's Mini TV. I know I've been gone for a long time, a long while, but I've been getting into coaching recently, or back into coaching again, and got a carry replay that I want to show you guys. So yeah, without further ado, he's going to be on call with me, and we'll get a chance to really dissect and go over a few things that might help you too as well. So let's get to it.
Hello.
How you doing? You well?
Somehow I don't have sounds on Discord, but I hear you. I hear
That's all
the
good.
voice call though. Sorry.
Wonderful. No, you're all good, bro. No worries, no worries. Yeah, so I looked at the three games that you wanted me to look at, and I've kind of made quite a lot of notes actually on all three. But I think there is a lot of overlap, and things I think you can kind of take going forward. Um,
Great.
so let me just share my screen, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, cool. Can you see?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think I wanted to actually ask you and talk to you before we look at any in particular stuff is in terms of carry pool or hero pool, are you playing like anything and everything, or do you have like a set number of heroes, or what's your what's your process?
Yeah, so I have my favorites and heroes that I feel
Mhm.
very comfortable,
Mhm.
and also I have playstyles that I feel comfortable with.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm trying to have something for every playstyle.
Okay.
Um, so
And and with that in
I
mind,
take
gone. Yeah, gone.
yeah, my favorites are like Slark,
Uh
Faceless
huh.
Void.
Uh huh.
Um, I think I'm very familiar with these two.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay.
Um, like second nature.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then generally I prefer mobile and
Yeah.
melee heroes.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And with that in mind,
Yeah.
do you have like a set amount of heroes that you will play under like almost any scenario? So remember last time we looked at, I was sort of showing you maybe like some like what I do in terms of hero pool. So I'm like, okay, I play like three or four heroes in one role, and then just kind of stick to those so that I'm really solid on. Do you have something like that, or is it just dependent on uh, how you feel on the day?
Yeah, so I play mostly a handful of heroes, but
Uh-huh.
that's just um that changes with meta a bit
Of course.
also.
Yeah,
Depends on
yeah,
what I feel. So
yeah.
I try to not play only the same heroes because
Yeah.
don't want to like mold myself into one playstyle
Mhm.
only.
Mhm.
But I yeah mostly play currently Slark and Void.
Okay.
And sometimes, the Juggernaut or if I need a range carry, then Sprout or Muerta
Sure.
mostly.
Okay. Okay. That's so good. Just because I would always recommend, like, if you do want to rank up and improve, I'd always recommend having like three heroes in the meta. And that you kind of stick to quite religiously, just so that you know exactly how they work, how they operate, and then because Dota is quite cyclical, and what I mean by that is, so this patch these heroes are good, next patch they might not be good. It's good to be really confident on these heroes so that when they come back in meta, you already know how to sort of like play them.
Yeah.
I think Slark and Void are obviously that's probably the two strongest in terms of the meta at the moment. So that's definitely good. And just really like limiting your hero pool, I think you'd find a lot more instant or quicker success than having a larger hero pool, just because you know exactly what to do in different scenarios. Um, but I digress. I just wanted to mention that to something to think about, and for other people as well, reducing your hero pool. So your lineup, you're playing against Pudge and Legion Commander. Like, how do you see this lane going? How do you want it to play out? Basically, talk to me.
Um, so I actually it was an experiment with the Spirit Breaker support, and I said, yeah, let's
Uh huh.
try it.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I thought Draw would be good in lane with this because we can harass them for free a lot
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
secure a lot of farm for me.
Yeah.
I get hooked like a noob.
Yeah.
This was not part of the plan. Plan was to actually just harass them, farm safely,
Yeah.
push out the wave,
Yeah.
pull, yeah,
Okay.
chill.
So yeah, I think you have the right kind of mentality of how you want this lane to go. Because the way you want troll lanes to go is that you're constantly chipping them down. Yeah, because if you're standing like behind your creeps and they're standing behind theirs, they have higher base damage, they'll be able to outlast hit you. But if you kind of play very aggressive and keep them like whittling them down by like frost arrows level 1, which you've done here, they feel scared to walk up to the creep wave, and so because of that, you can get every CS uncontested, yeah, because they're quite low. Obviously, getting hooked and stuff then kind of makes this lane a bit awkward like straight away. But I have seen this lane already, and talking of, I feel like this lane here, you're very much a hook magnet. I think you get hooked every single time, unfortunately. But
yeah, this was I was surprised myself.
It works all right actually. I think you end up like ending the lane okay in terms of net worth and stuff. But yeah, just I think it's important to have goals you want to happen in this lane before it even starts. Yeah, so that way you know, okay, did this lane go well or did it go bad? Yeah, so keep that in mind. But yeah, just playing it in terms of getting the free CS where you can, and then just slowly harassing them down, because you're not going to be able to fight them from full to nothing. Yeah, you want to keep them low so that if they do commit on you, that you can turn around and kill them. Yeah. But they're obviously, and when you're playing against Pudge, you need to make sure you're always sitting behind some kind of creeps. But it wasn't actually the lane stage I want to talk too much on this replay, because I know we got 3 to look through. But I thought, yeah, your harassing was pretty good. It's just you got a little bit unlucky. I feel like every time Pudge used hook, it landed. As we can see, case in point here. But I do like you got a Gust level 2, by the way. I think this is really strong now. It's one of her probably strongest abilities. It's been buffed many, many times, giving you bonus movement speed as well, so you can always outlast the kind of the go. So I think that's pretty good. Obviously, CS is very low, but like, I have seen this lane already, and it works out okay, just because you kind of end up getting a lot of kills as a result. So I'm going to just sort of speed through as we see like another hook here.
Yeah.
If there's anything specific you want me to talk about in this lane, let me know.
Like the lane we already talked about, like and also like laning, I can go to and see for myself what I did wrong.
Yeah.
But the overarching thing between the games, that's what I need you for.
That's what I want to focus on as well, because I think there's a lot of just difference. Basically, what I want to do is I want to change and improve your thinking about the carry position, and then give you the skills to apply in every game going forward. I just want to speed through. I'd say, like, I think every time you die and you TP, I think is an opportunity to think and to talk about it. So I'm just going to speed through until you die, which I think here. This is still normal. The laning phase is still, you have to TP bottom. There's nothing else you can do. You're level 3.
Actually, at this time already I thought about if I should go back bottom, but I just get hooked like a noob. But I decide no, actually the lane is good for us. I just need to play it better.
Yes, it is. It is. Like if I'm looking at this lane here, so Spirit Breaker, Drow versus Legion Pudge, you should be winning this lane. As long as you play it correctly, and we know.
And we did win, just not that much, not that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as hard as you should.
Yeah, exactly, which is fine, and we've talked about it anyway. So, I think your items are also not too bad. I think one thing I would say is that going Falcon Blade is fine. I just think you need treads as soon as possible in this lane, focusing more on that. But I think the starting build and 9 build is actually okay. I mean, Drove is a little bit out of meta anyway, but that's not a problem. You can play that.
I thought about the Falcon Blade minute 0 because I knew I wanted to chip them all the time, and they don't have any way.
Yeah, and if you're going to go 1-1-3 or 3-1-1, which I think you do.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I should have adjusted. Like the Sage's Mask is enough, and Tretch now would be better.
Yeah, just because
I didn't win the lane as hard as I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. But this is all good. I think it's the next death that this is still good. Like you see the Gust making a difference here. So obviously you get gone on by the Void here and die here, which is kind of to be expected. So one thing I want to talk to you about is knowing and talking about your carries heroes, like your responsibilities. Yeah. So I think it's kind of important to think about roles as what your responsibilities are. So I think this TB is actually okay as well, just because you can't really jungle or do anything else on this map at this point in time.
Yeah.
So you have to TP bot here. So that's not a problem. It's actually the one after this that I think that I have an issue with.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, then let's skip to that.
yes, okay, let's do it. Let me just, for some reason I've zoomed super far in. I don't know how to get out of it now. I think this happened last time. Sorry. One sec. Sorry, let me just options, video, controls, hotkeys. So there we go. Beautiful. Okay. I think that should be better. Yeah, much better. Yeah, so this, I think you might be fine here. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, so I want to talk to you about your carry heroes' responsibilities. So if I was to ask you, what is your responsibility, would you say, as Dro, perhaps after the laning phase, so after 8 or 9 minutes, what would you say your responsibility is?
Drought doesn't really apply any meaningful pressure on the map, so it's just to max your farm.
Yep. Anything
and
else?
And then, be ready, to join your team if something happens that's good, obviously,
Yep.
where you can make a difference.
Yes,
but I think that's true for every carry.
Yes, I would agree. This is quite nice to get a nice TP, and I think he ends up you killing here as well. Perfect. So I think that's really as kind of as a drow anyway. That's kind of all you can do. Yeah, and the reason why I say that is because the other two heroes that I looked at, the Slark and Anti-Mage, they have different responsibilities to drow in that scenario. Okay, so what I mean by that is what I see here and what we're going to see here is that you're going to be defending towers that you shouldn't. You should be maximizing your farm.
I see.
And because of that, it actually causes a lot of issues for your team. So remember last time we talked a little bit about how you not using Chrono is kind of affecting your team and how the pace of the game is going on. Similar here as well. Like you as the carry, you're the position one, you're the most important in terms of farm priority. But where you play on the map and what you do, your team will then respond to it. Yeah. So what happened here was great. You killed the offlane and you killed the position 4. In some ways, you kind of got lucky that this happened and you had a nice TP in at knife rotation. That's perfect.
I called for the TP.
Yeah, it was great. It was perfect.
I saw it coming. Yeah.
Now, the moment this Legion's commander TPs back in is the moment you need to start kind of playing a bit more defensive and playing, okay, look, I can't be up here, especially when this Pudge TP comes in as well. I don't think you actually see it, so that's fine. You're not meant to. But what I'm saying about your carry's hero's responsibility, and a reason why I'm raising it, is because as we'll see in this replay, your support Spirit Breaker is feeling that he has to help you and babysit you. The problem being is that he's level 6 at 8 minutes, which is insanely good for a position 5, and where he wants to be playing with heroes that kill people. So Zeus, he wants to be playing top, he wants to be playing mid. He does not want to be babysitting his Drow Ranger level 6, who does very little in comparison to, say, a level 7 Zeus or a level 5 Centaur and a level 5 Witch Doctor. So your presence, particularly when Legion and Pudge come down here, is that if you're not in this lane, okay, you're actually wasting the Legion and the Pudge's time, which then frees up your Spirit Breaker to do good things outside of the map. Or other sides of the map. Okay, so first off, let's just go back 10 seconds because this is kind of where you need to be thinking. Okay, what's my responsibility? Where should I be? What do I need to be doing? They're about to respawn. Okay, and probably at your bracket, they're immediately going to just TP down back to where they just died. Okay. And so because of that, you need to be either you need to be spamming this creep wave here instead of denying this creep, because you want to kill this creep wave before they come, because you want to get this gold and get out. Okay, so already you denying that creep tells me that you're not thinking about this. Okay, in an ideal scenario, you'd have like max multi-shot, so you can kill this wave quickly. Again, prior to maximizing your farm and then relieving this tower pressure. Okay, but Legion and Pudge TP in. Okay, and the moment they show on lane is the moment like you can't be here. They've already respawned and they've not shown top or mid, so you have to assume they're coming back bot for you. You're half HP and you're literally standing on the creep wave here, and that's just like it's not good. And I can't remember if you die here, but if you don't, you should die. It's what I'm trying to say, and you do, yeah. Like, and that's not you kind of, oh, you should dodge this hook. It's not. It's nothing to do with that actually. Like he's smoked. Like I'd probably get hit. I'd probably get hit by this hook because it's from smoke. It's a good hook to be fair, but you shouldn't even be here hitting this creep wave because you know that Legion and Pudge have both died and they've not shown on top or mid, and you're half HP. Where you should be right now is here or here, okay? But because you're bottom, Spirit Breaker feels that he needs to be somewhere near bottom to kind of play around you, whereas he really should be mid or top, helping out top. And obviously you end up kind of dying here. It's a good hook, so on and so forth. But you get the point I'm trying to say, yeah? Like you should know this is coming because you've just killed them and they're not showing anywhere else on the map. At least, and even if you're not sure, you should be playing here until they show. Like maybe they don't TB bot. Maybe Pudge TB's mid to get farm here. But then he shows mid, and then maybe you can walk up to the creep wave. But you're already at the creep wave before they've even shown. So to me, that's just you're either not thinking about it or just hoping that they're not bot. But both of those is like it's not.
I actually wanted to force them bot. That's why I wanted to push out the mid wave. I expected them to come bot. I wanted to then go back so that my team can play an advantage fight.
Absolutely fine.
3 top.
That's a good play.
Maybe that's where I'm not familiar with draw that much. Like, also, I didn't expect them to be smoked really at this time.
I
should have. I don't give enough credit to the enemy.
I think there's that.
Here.
But also, even if they're not smoked, let's say like they just run riot here. It's night time. If they're here not smoked, they still kill you.
Yeah.
Or here, they still kill you. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. Like it's good that you're thinking the first step. The first step is I want to push them bot so I can make space for my team. That's great. Okay, but the moment like you would have made space by like showing here, yeah, because they're already alive. You've shown here already. They've already probably made up their mind.
I should assume that they're TPing now.
They're already TPing, yeah. So you die here, which is whatever. You get hooked by it. Again, this now forces the Spirit Breaker bot a little bit, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. So Pudge is bot, and then you TP back. Now this TP is actually not terrible because already the Spirit Breaker's bot with you. But again, you shouldn't really be making this TP, but because he is here, it's okay. But what I mean is that Spirit Breaker shouldn't be bot. He should be top. Like he's level 6 now. Like he's one of the strongest heroes on the map, and he's in position 5, which is very rare to happen. He's got phase boots, level 6. Like he's higher level than the enemy carry, and like you pair this with like a Centaur level 6. If Spirit Breaker's top, you kill both of these heroes. But because
this TP especially is something I wanted to ask you about as well, because like every TP back to lane, I thought about is this the correct one? And here again, because Spirit Breaker was there, I felt like it's okay, and I didn't know what else to do really. Like I can't jungle yet effectively.
No, I agree.
I didn't see you play top.
Yeah, so this TP is fine. I would put it back. If my Spirit Breaker was bottom, even though he shouldn't be, I would make this TP as well. Okay, because
if he wasn't here, where would you go then? Just go to the jungle, right?
I'd TP, but I'd just farm here. Yeah.
Okay,
like the only time you can show up to this lane if it's only Legion Commander. Okay. Remember, this goes back to your knowing your carry hero's responsibilities. Your carry hero's responsibilities is just to maximize farm. So how do you maximize farm? Just like talk to me. How do you do that? Like normally as a carry.
Don't die.
Don't die. Yeah, it's probably number one. Yeah. Obviously pushing creep waves.
I take all the creep waves that I can.
Yeah, and then go jungle.
If I can't take one, I go jungle. Yeah.
Exactly. That's all it is. Yeah. So that's all you can do. Okay. The problem is when you make this TP. You send also a signal to the enemy mid that you have to be bottom. Yeah. Luckily he TP's top because if he doesn't make this TP, you die again.
Yeah, you're right.
And good mid players, like honestly, in my games, like my mid player is like, or my off laner is screaming at my mid laner saying, "Drow just TP'd bottom." That means you can only be bottom for the next like minute. You can't be anywhere else, so you have to be around here. So if the mid just walks down, like you're the easiest kill on the map, and also you're like close to the highest net worth, yeah, or like you're the number one, yeah, you're position one.
Far away from net worth, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just because of how the lane went. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think you end up like you fight here and you end up killing or something. And this is only because another thing I want to talk to you about is about power spikes, and I'll talk about this in a lot of times. But talking about power spikes, right now you two have power spikes. Or the advantage is you have power spikes because Pudge is level 6. Yeah, so because of that, you probably can make some kind of play here, just you two. And I think you do, if I remember. That was the one hook I think he missed, actually. Yeah, you got the pressure, and I think, if I remember, I'm just going to speed up because there's a lot to get through, and I don't want to... Oh, he misses another one. There you go. And then you kill him here, or he gets away. Yeah. Okay, good. So Pudge is dead. Legion goes back to base again. So now you have another opportunity to sort of show me, okay, where do I need to do? What do I need to be? So right now you can be bot. Legion, as we know, is run back to base, but Pudge is alive. So now you need to be on alert. Yeah. So again, you want to either be pushing this wave out and then going to the jungle and then allowing this Spirit Breaker to have the freedom to get out. But again, like I'd be spamming this creep wave kind of thing, particularly if I know like I don't want to be here. Pudge is probably going to be close to level 6, but you see an opportunity, this is also fine, yeah, because you're going to kill him here. It's all good. Silence. I think, yeah, and then you end up killing the Pudge here as well. Then, oh no, I think you end up dying here.
Yeah.
You should have just manned up, I think, because he hits you with hook.
Yeah, I should have.
Yeah, but it's fine.
I realised later.
Absolutely fine. Whatever. We've talked about this. So you're doing a fair bit, and that's mainly because this Spirit Breaker is just super high level and is kind of carrying this lane. But again, you're restricting his freedom. So now, this TP again is fine because you want to be maximizing your farm. It's just what you need to be doing in terms of where you want to be playing. You, as a position 5 player, I do not want to be playing with my carry because you're like the weakest person on the map right now in terms of hero strength, yeah? Zeus is really strong, Centaur's really strong, Witchstrike's level 6. So I want to be killing people and I can't really do that, or my best chance of doing that is not with you, yeah? So wave's kind of far up, okay, Legion's going to show, you shouldn't know where Pudge is, so this is all pretty good, this is pretty good, this is pretty good. Okay, I think you like stack here or something. Okay, again, you walk up to the lane, it's like, this is where it gets a bit awkward, yeah? Because, as I said before, like, it's far up. You should just be hitting creeps here. Even though Spirit Breaker's in the vicinity, you should be screaming at him, like, just go help somewhere else. I think you end up dying here, Pudge is level 6. Can't remember what happens here exactly. Okay, Zeus TP's him. Which is, like, this seems fine, because it works out, but it's still a weird place to fight. Okay, and what I mean by that is, yes, in this scenario here, it worked out for you.
Yeah, it's kills that don't mean anything.
But these kills mean nothing because they don't progress the game, and they also don't if these 2 kills happen mid or they happen top, fantastic. You get the tower and you get mid tower, and maybe you secure rune. But because of you being here, not only is the position 5 having to come here, the mid is also having to come here. This actually ruins the mid's game quite a lot because you got both the kills, and now he doesn't have mana and he doesn't have TP as well. So he's going to lose the rune. He's going to lose the tower on the mid pressure. And again, the offlaner is screaming like, guys, why are we not just killing the Lion and the Juggernaut? Yeah, I see this quite a lot in kind of lower MMRs, and really what should be happening is like you've already missed the catapult timing at 10 minutes, but this power should be pressured. But it's because of what's happening bot basically with you. But right now,
I could just play way more defensive and tell my support to do something else.
Correct.
And not bait him to play around me.
Correct. Yeah. Obviously, like your job or your responsibility, which you've told me, which is the right responsibility, is maximize farm and kind of push creep waves or take creep waves that you can without dying. Yeah, because you're gonna be playing on an island basically. So these 2 are dead. Yeah, like killing this as quick as possible. Maybe killing the next one if you can, and then like farming here. Probably not gonna get able to kill the next one because creep waves coming in. So this is fine. You could even maybe pull here as well, but Legion Commander is TP'd bottom, which is a great sign for the rest of your team, because if they start making moves diving top or mid, Legion can't TP. Yeah, so because you killed him, you've kind of forced him bot. Yeah, again, which is fine. But okay, Pudge is now TP'd mid. So right now I'm looking at this creep wave, pushing it in, because I know Legion's not here, and Pudge is mid, which you're doing, absolutely fine, yada yada yada. Okay, kind of jungling. Okay, you're one-on-one with Legion, so I would take this creep wave, because you know Pudge is mid. It's just these little things, yeah, like in terms of that.
Yeah, lack of awareness.
Yeah, but that's fine. Now, obviously, you need to be here, because Pudge could be bot. Don't know where Legion is, so this is all fine, this is all normal. Okay, you're like trying to defend the tower. A bit lucky. If I was like, this is a bit risky considering as you don't know where Legion is. Again, it's not really your responsibility to do this, but you you get away with it, so it's fine. Like if Legion has blink there, or again Spirit Breaker's playing around bottom. It's night time. What are you doing? Like this is just no. I know, but you're probably here because Spirit Breaker's here. Might be able to get a kill. If you're here, he wants to be here. Like they have vision of you. Like they could punish this quite heavily.
Yeah, I think basically as we baited each other to play
exactly.
This.
Just farm here, or even start farming triangle. Yeah, because you might not be getting punished in these games because they're a little bit lower. But if you start ranking up, which you will be slowly but surely, like the enemy mid, the enemy position 5 looks at you here and is like, yeah, this is a free kill. Yeah. So you're playing around. Again, I feel like you want the responsibility to defend this tower. This is suicide, and there we go, and there we go, and there we go.
Like, it's really bad draw gameplay.
Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, so we talked about that. That's the main thing I want to talk to you. Like your responsibility is not for this tower. Like it's 15 minutes, bro. Like it's very late in. Like this is well beyond laning stage, you know.
Yeah, I think like in the beginning you asked me, and I told you right away it's not my responsibility.
Correct.
And when I think about why I'm still doing it, yeah, I feel I have to because. I feel so useless otherwise, and also Spirit Breaker is here, and I feel like if I just walk to the jungle and he's here alone, then that's also very awkward.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessary.
Maybe I'm just not confident enough in my call. Maybe I should just do it when I know it's the right thing.
Yeah, so this TP is not too terrible considering as there was a lot of pressure bottom. You might be able to get something happening top, but. Again, your responsibility is to maximize farm and kind of clear creep waves with max multi-shot. Now, in this scenario, this TP is okay because you know that they can't really respond to you too much top. And if you just go, like obviously, if the moment we've talked about this last time, but the moment you go jungle is when you're not doing anything. All you're doing is farming, like for yourself. You're not relieving pressure. You're not creating pressure, kind of thing. But this TP is fine because it's kind of a response to what is happening bot. Yeah, like what I mean by that is if, say, mid has TP, you don't know where he is, don't know where the position 4 is, you TPing top when lanes are in an okay position, you're asking to feed, or you're asking for them to
I
go
wouldn't
on
do
you.
that. Yeah, this is an opportunity to apply some pressure, take a wave and go back in my head.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, it's sort of see here, obviously, this is happening, like, this is what supports do. Okay, like I would be a little bit careful what's happening. Do I want to be up here? Maybe my whole team's here. I don't think the enemy team can respond, so maybe this is okay. You're gonna hit the tower a little bit. This is still okay. You want to be the furthest person back. Okay, you need to definitely start running now. Okay, you might be okay. I think you're gonna die here. I think. Oh, that's lucky. Can't remember. Yeah. So obviously playing from far. This fight is over, considering what's happening here, so I'd be running already. I think you try and help out. Yeah, and then you die. Yeah, you see the difference between 60 seconds ago, you being TPing top and killing this creep wave and putting some pressure, fine. And the difference to 60 seconds after when like everyone is around you and on top of you, and 2 of your heroes are dead.
I think I see now why you asked me about limiting my hero pool, because you can tell from the replay that I'm not very familiar with draw.
Correct, and that's what I mean. like I feel like when like I think your Slark is at level 25. I think your Void was Diamond as well, if I remember last time. And I feel like you wouldn't be making these mistakes on heroes that you're very comfortable on. Whereas Dro here, you want to either be first of all, you don't want to be fighting here, particularly if like your 2 frontliners are dead, because the moment they see you, they're just going to walk at you. You should be either relieving pressure, because mid is getting pushed in, tower's low, bot's low as well. Yeah. Obviously you can't because your TB's dead, so then you should just be here. Yeah, farming, maximizing your farm. Is there anything else I want to talk to you about on this draw? Because I made some.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I just because
this is something that didn't. I just didn't see it in the when I checked the replay.
So yeah, knowing heroes' responsibilities, and this is probably less so than on this particular replay for Drow, but I do want to talk to you about setting up fights for your team through dealing with waves. So as a carry. So let's say as an offlaner or a mid, the way you set up fights is maybe you have a blink dagger and we smoke and we just blink in and stun them. Yeah, that's their responsibility. As your responsibility as a carry, though, is that you've got to make sure that the creep waves are in good order so that your teammates can smoke without making it really obvious. Yeah, so let's say if we go back 60 seconds here, if this wave is pushed in, like to their tower, and if this my bot lane is also dealt with, then that allows your team to have a better fight. But as you can see, like if we go back, I don't know, 10, 30 seconds, the creep waves mid pushing in, bot pushing in, and so the enemy team, they have nothing else but to be in this fight.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Whereas if it's the other way around, the enemy team might be like, oh, one hero might be like, oh, I need to deal with the wave here. They TP mid or they TP bot, and therefore that one TP means they're not all 5 top. But because their waves are in good position mid and bot, there's nowhere else to be but top. They have to be top because what else is there to farm? What else is there to do? And that's just the slight difference as well. What else I want to talk to you about? Yeah, actually. So this is a lot later, actually. So I'm just going to speed through because we talked a little bit about responsibilities, and I think everything else is all a bit madness, really. So I'm going to just skip through, if you don't mind. That's probably better. So this is kind of what you should be, right? This is good. I think for the next 10 minutes, actually, you kind of have good gameplay because like everything's kind of dealt with, nothing's happening. You don't have to respond to anything. All you need to do is just maximize your farm, which is all good. So I think you stay in the ancients for a bit, which is great. But you should have been doing this like from the get-go. Maybe relieving a tower top. I think you go and deal with this, which is great. Okay, all good. Yada yada yada. Lovely. Okay, all good. Like your team's fighting mid, but to be honest, like that's more on them. Like Okay, we're all good. Okay, net worth is like pretty even. You're a little bit up. I want to talk to you a little bit about how do you see the fights going? And so I'm a psychology teacher, so there's this thing called a schema. Do you know what a schema is? Just out of curiosity.
A what?
A schema.
Schema, yeah.
Talk to me. What is a schema?
That's like template.
Good.
Like similar to a pattern, maybe.
Yes, fantastic.
Some similar to, yeah.
Yeah, it's like your personal blueprint of something. Yeah. So if I said, oh, can you imagine a banana? You don't have to see a banana to know what it looks like. What I mean by this is I want to know what your schema is when it comes to how you think team fights are going to go in this game. So how...
You mean those that don't join, or those when we fight 5 versus 5?
When you fight 5 versus 5, because this will tell me like why you're buying these items. So how do you see the fights happening in an ideal scenario?
Generally? Originally I thought that we have frontline with Bara and Sand that I can play behind, and I wouldn't have to itemize defensively.
Okay, so there's that. Do you have any specifics? Because specifics are really important. So like how do you see like specifically how these team fights may be going?
I usually have an idea for when we initiate and when we counter initiate. So when we are say trying to get a tower, then I see Sand in the front hitting the tower, me standing behind it, and my supports around me, so that we're ready to counter initiate. But I feel like we don't really want to be in that position actually. Because they have stronger initiation than we have counter initiation. So I would rather us being the one to initiate with a Sand stun or with a Bara charge, or maybe both. Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, so
and I play behind it.
Yeah, so that's generally what what I would say as well. Obviously, I think how team fights go, they can generally go one of two ways. Either you jump on them or they jump on you, and then obviously the variations of that. Yeah. But why I'm asking this is because how you see a team fight going will indicate what kind of items you want to go or you buy. Yeah. So like I'm gonna buy this item and I'm gonna play this way. Yeah. So like right now you're buying Lincoln so that you can block the duel, the hex, and maybe the dismember. Yeah. So that's the reason why you've bought it, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
Because I felt like, and this is actually a digression from my original plan, because I felt like I needed. I felt like they always get on top of me anyway, even though I tried to play behind my team.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know why I couldn't analyze in like live in the game.
Yeah.
If I was like out of position, or if Sand or Bara were misplaying their part, I didn't really know. I just felt I need the Lincolns.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, it felt bad though.
Yeah, like so that's fine. Sometimes it is a game time decision, and you're like I need this item because this guy is playing out of his mind or whatever. However, generally speaking, like Lincoln's on Drove is I'd say pretty rare, for the fact that if you get jumped on, doesn't matter whether you have Lincolns, you're gonna die. Yeah, so you need to buy items. So either that, what I mean by that is you want to maximize your strengths rather than minimize your weaknesses. And by that, like your hero is like a ranger, yeah. So you want to be attacking from range behind your frontliners, and then like maximizing that kind of potential. So if you're going to maximize that potential, you probably need what items? If that's the playstyle you're ideally going to go for.
In this game, maybe Butterfly.
Yeah, Butterfly, obviously Hurricane Pike.
Early.
Yeah, Hurricane Pike as well can help you what's the word? Position yourself, and then obviously higher range. Yeah. If they jump on top of you, you've already done something wrong with your positioning. And so because of that, it's like, well, what's the point in terms of items? So the way I would say, if I was Dro this game, I'm buying Hurricane Pike. Manta is fine because it's probably a farming stimulation, but I'm buying Hurricane Pike instead of Lincoln's, and I'm not going into I'm not even right-clicking the enemy unless I see this Legion already enter a fight, because if he blinks and duels me, I'm gonna feed basically. So let's say you smoke as 5, okay? You jump on a hero, and if in an ideal scenario that hero is Legion, and then you can show and fight. But if not, I'm hanging back, waiting for this Legion to show, and then I'm gonna kill the Legion of whoever he duels, or vice versa. Lincoln's is one of those items where, and I think he does actually ends up buying
Halbert.
He buys Halbert, and I think he duels you a couple of times anyway. So it's like the Lincoln's to me is like a non impactful item. And whereas and that's because not necessarily that you're buying it in a wrong scenario. It's just that you're trying to cover over your positioning mistakes with an item. Does that make sense? Whereas if your positioning is better, or your schema is better, or how you want the team fights to go, that would be better. Yeah. So that's another thing I want to talk to you about, because in a few other games as well, the Slark game in particular, I think it shows in your items as well, and I'll talk about that in the Slark game. Anything else I want to talk to you about this Dro game? But particularly this idea of knowing your carry hero's responsibilities, I think is really important. Yeah, that's. Was there any other thing you want to talk to me about, particularly about this Dro game?
No, nothing particular.
Good. Okay, because there's a lot more I want to talk to you about on the Slark and
great.
and at the end. But yeah, I think especially look, if you want to play Drow, absolutely fine, play Drow. Okay, but just obviously think about your responsibilities as a Drow, or as a carry. And if you don't want to play Drow, that's also fine. Just trying to locate like 3 or 4 heroes that you're really comfortable with, and that would help. But yeah, just also remember particularly about that, about like where you are playing and how that will impact your position 5 as well, because that will have an impact on the game. Let me pull up the second one. Okay. I think actually, and also I think the replays going forward, they get better and better. I think Drow was your worst game, and I think even though I think you lost all 3, but I think Slark and your AM, well, Slark's pretty good. But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, now seeing the replay, I think I just didn't play Drow really. I played some survivable ranged carry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's just kind of
I played some survivable melee carry.
Okay.
I was playing like I was lifestealer or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually it's funny because the way you play Drow was like, because we're going to talk about carry responsibilities here and in the lane, but the way you played Drow was like you were playing a Slark, and the way you play Slark was like you were playing a Drow in terms of what you do in the lane. But I'll talk to you about it in a sec. Let's just speed forward. For some reason you didn't buy items at the start. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was I don't know.
Okay, just a few things, because I know you play Slark a lot, and I think this may help you if you play Slark in the future. On runes, you really want to be playing on vision. Nighttime, especially with Slark, is like God vision. Yeah, Slark has one of the best vision. Night
yeah,
I
always talk to my team and try to motivate them to make use of night vision.
Yeah, absolutely fine, but then why are you the furthest one back? You should be the furthest one forward. Not only do you have an escape if you need it for pounce.
Actually, I think this game I was just getting a drink or something.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Stupid.
It happens, yeah. But normally, like, if a lot of Slarks I see is like they're walking mid, like straight away to sort of see, like, because you can see enemy high ground, or they're like walking here, so they see. Yeah, but if you're having a drink, that's fine. You didn't even buy any items, so it is what it is. But yeah, try and abuse that if you can.
Yeah.
I think you end up killing someone here anyway, so ends up working out. Okay, let's speed forward. UTP, which is good. So this game especially, why should you be aggressive in this game especially? Like in this lane, sorry, especially.
Did you say why or when?
Yeah, why? Why? Okay. Why and when? You can answer me both.
Yeah, I think I should play aggressive whenever I have my Venge with me and just hit the DK as much as I can. Okay, because of Essence Shift is favorable.
Yep. Anything else?
Yeah, I should maybe not hit them when they have their damage reduction.
This guy.
Oh yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy is the reason why you should always play aggressive, assuming he's level 2, and it does actually happen in this game. But I think it's important for me to mention this so that you're aware of it, because every time you have a Prophet, or every time you have even a Sunstrike Invoker or a Zeus level 6, like you're playing 3v2 in this lane. And you play this lane really well, by the way, except for 2 things, and we'll get to it. You need to buy raindrops on Slark every single game, particularly if you have bursty magic, which you do in this lane.
Cool.
And maximize getting to level 6, because generally Slark actually is very strong at level 1 and level 2. It's kind of weak level 3, 4, and 5, and then he gets really strong at level 6. So it's this kind of power spikes. But I think you play this lane pretty well, actually, for the first few waves. Always kind of hitting the DK, keeping your region up. I think you do quite a good job. So I'm just going to speed through here. Looking for trades, trading with the Avenge. That's another thing I want to talk to you about in terms of playing with your support, particularly in the AM game, because there was a few strange trades. But this is good. Playing with him, hit him. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Okay, and you get out there as well, which is all good. And I think he ends up killing him as well, doesn't it, again? Yeah, so this lane already, like after this first blood, you should be like dominating this lane, and you do. Except for a few random.
Yeah, I remember the Nature's Prophet played really active.
Yeah, he did, and you punished.
But I die like 2 times, I think. Stupidly.
And a lot of it is because you just don't have raindrops. If you have raindrops,
that's why I immediately said yes. You're right. I just didn't think of it.
You just need raindrops, bro. It's simple as that. I think you get it. But this is all good. Your bench pulls, lovely. I like that you bought a salve as well, because, like I said, you want to be keeping up. Like whenever you play Slark, and I'm sure you know, you're like master level Slark, is that you want to be always in a position to trade with the enemy team. Whereas, like on the other side, the enemies always want to keep you low enough that if you do commit, they can turn around and kill you. and so you need to be full HP as much as possible, and that's why at level 6 you have this spike, because any harass they give onto you at level 6, you can just get it all the way back from your ulti.
Yeah, okay, let me check real quick with you, because conceptually I usually try to play this way, and I have an exception in my mind when I'm in a lane where I just cannot trade effectively and also don't have kill threat, then I try to not invest in region too much, just get level 6 and get out there.
Yeah, I think obviously every game is different, but generally speaking,
only as much reason as I need,
correct,
and not more than that.
If you can't trade with enemy team and you don't really have that much kill threat, just do what you like, play defensively until level 6, because this hero, okay, let's go back, because I asked you the same question on Drow. What is your responsibilities on Slark? In the lane, generally early game.
For the laning stage and I would say even the extended laning stage, I want to occupy and defend my tower and farm effectively around there.
Fantastic.
Join favorable fights anywhere on the map, really, if the opportunity is good.
Yeah. So the difference between Drow and Slark is that Slark can hold his tower because he's very hard to kill, and he can occupy this lane a lot longer than most carries. I think Lifestealer is
also... And ideally, I want to do that by myself and have my team ready to TP
Fantastic.
in.
Yes.
If something happens.
Yes.
Or to TP to them. If they gank me, I get out.
Yes. There's a few things that you do really well on this Slark game, and it shows that you're experienced. And we'll get to those as well. But that's your responsibilities, kind of thing. I think level 3, you've kind of got a power spike. You're 1-1-1, so you can deal with the strength. Level 4, level 5, you need to be a little bit more careful, just because their power spikes are pretty strong, whereas I think your power spike is 3 and 6.
I think I don't adjust well enough yet.
Yeah, but it's fine.
In my head, I'm still strong, and then I'm playing as if I'm stronger than I actually are.
Yeah, so... and this is the importance of power spike. But right now, you're fine, yeah? You're level 4 versus level 2 and level 2, and your Venger's also level 3. So still right now, as long as if the lane's in a good position, you should look for trades when you can. Particularly if they use terrible spells like that. Venge should be pretty running with you, but okay, it's fine. This is all good. Yeah, this is good. Lovely, and also you have the... So this is all fantastic. Yeah, all good. Don't think you kill... Yeah, you're not going to kill him, but this is all good. It's good pressure. Top last hitting, and obviously top net worth probably as well, or close to it. Oh, where's my net worth? Yeah, close to the top net worth as well. So this is all good. You're seeing this kind of spam from the Rubik and the DK here. Would definitely want to be starting to top yourself up. As I talk to you, this is kind of okay. You end up dying here, don't you? Actually, yeah, you get lifted and die. Yeah, and that's simple as that. If you have if you tango here, you probably kill him, or maybe don't even use Dark Pact. You'd probably be fine.
Yeah, this was just played bad. Also, I have stick charges. I could use them early.
Yeah, so these kind of things, and that's why we highlight the importance of kind of being topped off in lane as well, because until you level 6, you're kind of pretty weak. But that's fine. Buy it if you have raindrops there, you're not dying.
Yeah, I feel so stupid for not playing raindrops because I also have mana issues already.
Yeah, there's that, but also you're trying to buy treads full when you could have just bought the one. What I mean by that is so before treads, your net worth is probably the same as them, because even though you're top, let's say before you die here. So right now you're 1,000 gold above the DK, but actually you're not really, because the net worth you have is on your courier. It's not on you. You know what I mean? So actually, yes, you're a level higher than him, but you're half HP, and then you get kind of punished. Whereas if you'd bought raindrops and the slippers of agility, or the agi part of the treads, you'd be fine. But that's fine.
Greed doesn't pay off.
Yeah, it's fine. But now I think now you're just my profit is up and ready. They feel scared to engage you. Yada yada yada. You're all good. This is all fine.
I'm not thinking about the profit though, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not used to them making plays like this guy. He was really good.
Yeah, he did. He played well. Okay, you're all good. This is all kind of normal, except for the fact that you obviously just got a bit too greedy.
Oh yeah, play it one more time, please.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I love that you bought a sound, by the way. Just use it, like.
Yeah, my plan was pause out, salve.
But you just get greedy here. You're on like 200 HP, and I think it's a bit of a trend, really. I think you don't give enough respect to your enemies or opponents.
Yeah.
But that's, it is what it is. Again, if you have raindrops there, you don't die. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just a little bit frustrating considering how you're still doing good, you're still winning this lane, but consider of how you gave 2 very easy kills that you could have absolutely dominated this lane.
Yeah.
The same with the AM game as well, actually, where you do well and then you kind of throw it a little bit, but that's fine. What I want to talk to you more about, okay, this is all good. So you're going to get level 6 here soon. I'm just going to speed up because there's not much else to really talk about. Okay, level 6 now. So now you're level 6, okay? If you feel that you can kill just with you two, that's fine that your Avenger's going to be here. But more often than not, it's a lot of just standoffish. What you're doing here is fine, but it tells me that you're not thinking exactly like why you're doing it. So what I mean by that is this play here of just pushing the creep wave in is absolutely fine if you're by yourself and you're not trying to kill someone. But I get the sense, or the way you're playing is saying or telling your support that you want to go for a kill. And in that case, if you want to kill and still dominate this lane, why are you pushing this lane? Because you want the lane here so that you can kill them. Whereas if you just want to push the wave and go jungle, and defend your tower, that's fine. But you need to let your support know that so they can go mid or go bot. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and
absolutely.
Both.
And in my head, I was already just maximizing farm, jungling, pushing out the wave.
Absolutely
and I think I tell my support in 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute.
Yeah.
I tell him a bit late, but then I tell him that I just play alone now and maximize farm because I don't really want to waste resources killing them anymore because I feel like we have shut down them enough and it's better for me to maximize my own farm now.
For sure. Like you're still winning this lane, and it's kind of any kill you get is always a bit awkward, particularly if they have a ward. Like you're both kind of at this Mexican standoff, like they're kind of scared, like these kind of things. Whereas the Venge could be doing probably more important things elsewhere. Like if this happens and they start coming over, okay, doing this and that. Like if maybe the TP from the Prophet is available as well. You're still very strong, but again, it's this kind of awkward standoff,
Yeah.
Which is fine. Okay, push in. Okay, yeah, all good. Again, Venge's just sort of standing around doing nothing, but okay, he finally leaves. Okay, this is all good. So
now,
I
think this is when we communicated.
Yeah, so this is great. So now I think what you do is fine. I think you're gonna maybe try and you're gonna farm this. All good. Okay, so quickly, I just want to talk to you about responsibilities again. So what's your responsibility again? Just like now, again, talk to me. I know you just said it, but say it to me one more time.
From here, maximize farm, hope my tower and pressure into their tower whenever opportunity arises, or join my team.
Okay.
Opportunity arises.
Good. So in that case, I would be looking to be buying Mage Slayer instead of Diffusal because that helps you do that. Better. Mage Slayer is kind of actually the item why Slark is in the meta at the moment. It's one of I know you probably hear it all the time, but like Mage Slayer, this item is very, very, very strong, probably on the border of broken.
I haven't played Mage Slayer Slark yet. Actually, I usually like Diffusal too much for the kill threat.
Diffusal is fine. You can go Mage Slayer, Diffusal, and then Ags.
Okay, so Mage Slayer instead of Echo Saber.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just because it does too much basically for you.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of these games here. If you have Mage Slayer, either you don't die or you can do more with it.
You're right. The magic resist is really good this game as well.
It's just crazy good because not only does it have base magic resist, so you're good against burst, but also if you start hitting someone like Invoker, he can't really use spells to deal with you because he just does no damage. So yes, Mage Slayer is just. I mean, there are some games where Mage Slayer isn't needed, and you can just go Diffusal into Echo. But yes. So this is what you do. Again, this is better now. So you're defending tower, pushing out the waves. You've just forced a Rubik TP, which now makes whatever happens over here really a 3 versus 4. Yeah, which is great. because Rubik's just too big top. You know, he could be bottom and like dealing with this, but he's just too big top because of that small bit of pressure. Yeah, so that's all good. So you're doing good here. You're gonna push him. Yada yada yada. Okay, there's 2 people in my lane. Okay, now Invoker walks top as well. So I don't know if you, let's see if you actually see this actually. Because
I don't think I saw Invoker at this time.
Okay. Absolutely fine. So right now, if I'm you, I'm looking at probably my TPs from my enemies. Yeah, because as you said before, Slock's good at defending towers, particularly if like your enemies or your allies will TP in and protect you. So right now, the only thing I'm looking particularly is this catapult here. Probably is the thing that I'm eyeing up the most. Obviously, you can't just walk up, considering that there's 2 people there. So what you're doing is fine. I'm just seeing, can I hold top? And for some reason, this sniper's walked over.
I remember really actually sure, in game this had very weird. I am low in mana, so I don't want to defend now. I forced reactions top. I was actually hoping for my team to pressure bottom and then to join bottom.
Yeah.
And when the sniper came here, I told him so.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing, to be honest, and it's a bit strange. Obviously, your team's starting to TP in now, which kind of makes it just a little bit weird and awkward. If your team
So now I feel pressure to fight, but I don't really know what to do, but I don't want to because of low mana.
Yeah.
I don't have enough mana for my spells.
So, yeah, I totally get that. I don't know what your options for neutral items are. Obviously, this goes back to if you had raindrops, your mana probably wouldn't be as big of an issue. So if you had Mage Slayer, also gives you some decent mana regen. But yeah, I mean, in this scenario, it's an awkward one really because you don't really want to be here, particularly not this kind of Mexican standoff. Really, you just want to be here by yourself. And if they start bringing 3 or 4 heroes, then you leave. And yeah, it should be trading kind of thing. So here is an awkward decision, to be honest. I feel like if your team are going to be here, considering as Viper does have a TP, you need to be kind of ready to fight. The moment you just kind of leave them, though, particularly if you're not really doing anything to help your team, like jungling doesn't help the team, it just helps you. You kind of need to be here. Like Venge has swap, so you have some kind of initiation. I know it's awkward and it's weird, but Weaver's showing mid, so you know it's not a full-on 5, and Viper can TP. So if there's anything happening, you could get something if you're kind of waiting in the wings.
Alright.
So maybe I'm
even though low on mana, I can still be there, still be the threat.
Just something. Okay. Yeah, just being ready. Like if you have 0 mana, maybe it's a different story. Maybe you just go back to base. But because you can probably get a whole round of spells, because you're going to get some stick charges, I'm probably going to be in this fight. The moment you're not is the moment it's like, well, if you're here, this fight goes well. And if you're not, it probably doesn't. You know, it's that kind of game time decision. Don't get me wrong, it's a weird decision. Your team shouldn't fight here, but considering the circumstances, i.e. Weaver isn't there, because you know it, if you join and Viper joins, it's a 5-on-5. I think DK dies from the bat. You could maybe get like a pounce here, pounce into ulti, and then set something up for the rest of your team. But this is also okay. You know, it's not terrible, this decision. Let's keep on fasting forward.
No, looking at it now, I think it's actually the most terrible decision I could have made.
Yeah. Okay.
Why are you saying it's not terrible? I could have even pushed some mid.
Yeah, this is what I mean
honestly,
by
like usually on Slark, I would play there, and I was just now wondering. I see what you mean by I play this as if I were a drow by going back there.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
I mean, my mana was not too low. I could have maybe used 1 ult or 1 spell or something.
And this is what I mean by you're playing like a drow, because you can.
I think this was
towers.
Actually tilt.
Yeah,
I was actually tilted by the sniper pick.
Yeah.
In my head, I was now playing to protect him. Playing absolutely defenses to make space for him as my carry, but I didn't like to be forced in a situation where we don't have a catch for Weaver, don't have control in team fights at all.
Yeah.
And I'm the only body that Sniper and Viper really have for them.
And
that's a playstyle that I can do. But I felt that the sniper pick was really bad and his rotation was awkward, so I was in that moment tilted and didn't really.
Yeah, and that's acceptable. It's just sometimes, obviously, you need to play the game that's in front of you, and we're going to talk about you being the only body as well in terms of item build as well. I'm going to just jump to it because we're carrying on topic. So, and then you mentioned it. So, this item's all good. I said I would have swapped them. the Echo Saber for the Mage Slayer, because again you are the only body. Yeah. So this goes back to really like how do you see team fights like happening in this game? Again, so talk to you about your schema again of team fights. How do you see it happening?
The team fights are initiated by Venge or me. Hopefully. If they jump us, it's a problem. Then we need to protect the sniper.
So if you jump in,
so I try to either be the one jumped or the one to jump in.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's how it should go. Okay. And why you're right, but why is that the case? Why do you need to do that?
Because we don't have any saves or any sustain if our sniper or viper die early.
Good. And also, in terms of how the team fights goes, is you're going to jump in the middle and you have to make space so that your backliners, i.e. your sniper and your viper, can carry on hitting. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, because of that, Lincoln's is fine. It's actually the Basher that I have a little bit of an issue with, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But
I realized after game as well, Basher was bad.
The Mage Slayer helps with being the frontliner, yeah? Because in this case, you kind of are the frontliner. So, and also, after these 3 items, I'm probably buying Shard as well, because the moment you jump in, you're going to be the one trying to make space. By that I mean, like you've got to jump in, you have ulti, okay, ulti finishes, I'm going to pop the shard, that's like 8 seconds of just invulnerability, or 9 seconds
it's of also great to protect my viper or sniper.
Exactly, yeah, so I'm probably buying shard after these 3 items, because you need ags obviously, because so you get 2 pounces and you can kind of go in and out, yada yada. But yeah, so that's how the way I see this fight going is, yes, either they go on you, and I think there is actually, I don't know if I've gone past it, but there's a time where they go on you and they commit so heavy, and then you get out, and then it ends up being a great team fight, and then you voice line as well. I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's already happened. I'm gonna just fast forward.
I think we have a few good fights actually, but
I'm gonna go I think it's like you're in your enemy jungle, or you're in your own jungle. I think I've gone past it. Yeah, I think I've gone past it actually. Let's go back. Sorry. Here, literally, it's right here.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I remember.
This is great. Yeah. So this is exactly what you do.
I got lucky though. On the first Dark Pact. I didn't see the Blink Hex coming.
But this scenario is exactly what Slark's all about. Okay, because you. Well, like first of all, you probably can just TP in ulti, but I want to talk a bit. So again, going back to responsibilities, because now we're in a different phase of the game. I know we're jumping in and out, and it's a bit confusing, but you as a Slark, you're kind of the best person to show, because you're just hard to kill. Case in point right here, there's 5 people and they still don't kill you. And in fights like this, where they start on you, this is how it needs to happen. Because if they start on Sniper, if they start on Viper, if they start on Prophet, they just immediately die. But you doing this is really good, and you do TB here as well. And I think you voice line and give them a question mark, which I love that. It's great. It's perfect. It's great. Because look what happened. They commit so much now, and they go so deep because of you showing it. Yeah. So your team can respond. I think Prophet dies, but it's ended up a great fight. Weaver dies, and I think they all end up dying here as well. Again, this is perfect. Exactly how, and this kind of shows you being 25 on Slark. Yeah, and then I think they all die here as well, and they all just get wiped. And it's a perfect scenario here. And they all just die. So you can tell why this fight goes so well and how others don't go so well, and it's because of this scenario where they go on you first. Yeah. And this is why I want to talk to you about the sort of the schema, because Lincoln's also fine. I would probably go Lincoln's here as well. I'm just going to jump to the point where
because the reason I survived was that I was lucky with the Dark Pact, but Blink Hex
you're gonna still
can kill me anytime, 100-0, so
yeah, absolutely fine. Here though is again
the Basher's Grief.
I know there's been a lot of different fights and stuff, and I will go through. I just want to talk to you about the itemization because it links with how you think team fights are going to go. So if you have to be the frontliner and you have to be the one making space for your Viper and your Sniper because they're going to be behind you, you need to buy an item that allows you to stay in the team fights without dying. So if that's the case, what item should you be buying here instead of Basher?
Probably BKB or Satanic.
BKB's fine, Satanic's not. I don't know if you buy it, but Refresher is perfect actually as well.
Oh yeah, Refresher's also good, of course.
Because you have the mana, because you have Lincolns, you have Ags, and you just then, instead of it being like a like a 9-second duration, it's now 18 seconds. Plus you have like 4 pounces. Like 18 seconds is enough time for you to win a team fight and then like not be able to kill you. BKB is also fine, by the way. I'm okay with that. I personally would probably buy Refresher because you have the money. And the mana
in game I also thought about BKB and then felt like it's too low cooldown.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just the moment
do I buy Refresher at the end? I don't really know.
I don't think you do. I think you buy Abyssal and then you add up on this.
Abyssal is, but that's just wrong. I agree.
Yeah, Abyssal is or Slark can buy Abyssal and Slark can buy Berkshire, but it's just not your responsibility. Your responsibility in this team fight, or in these fights, is to kind of be the frontliner and be the person that they go on. You have Venge to sit behind you so that she can swap you. You have Lincolns as well. You need to frontline so that Sniper, who's gone like crazy damage, and Viper, that's gone kind of crazy damage, can do their job. If you buy Refresher this game, I do think you probably win this game just because of how the team fights happen.
Yeah.
And it's not because you just bought the wrong items. It's actually asking yourself, what is my responsibility in the fights? Because me saying, you bought the wrong item helps you in this game. Me asking you what's your responsibility helps you in all the other games in the future. Yeah. So not only does it apply to laning stage about like Drow and Slark, but also to team fights as well. Like, what's your responsibility? Because if you do your job properly, more times than not, you will win games, and then your MMR will go up. Because and I'll talk to you about another time talking about and it's in this game as well, about power spikes. So let me go back. I know we're jumping away. You buy Ag, so this is after this. Much after this. It's like, when do you buy Ags? Or when do you get Ags? Okay, it's a bit more. I'll keep skipping through. I think your bot, have you Ags? Okay, you got Ags now. Okay. Okay, so Ags is coming. Like, this is a perfect time because you have 2 major power spikes coming up. What are the 2 major power spikes coming up right now? If I just speed this up. Like for you as a hero.
Ags on delivery right now, yeah?
Yeah, Ags is on delivery, so that's one of them. Yeah. And what's the other power spike just about to hit in about 10 seconds?
I don't see it.
It's coming. You'll see.
Oh yeah, nighttime.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So, though, right now, you are probably the strongest person on the map right now. You're close to level 18 as well, but that's probably, that will come, and that'll be important. So, right now, 2 of your team or 1 of your team is dead, and this guy's probably going to die as well. Which is fine. So obviously right now there's no pressure you can really be doing because your team is dead. However, when they both respawn, you've just got Ags. I am screaming at my team, or I am buying I'm buying a smoke and saying, guys, we need to fight. If I just play this and don't say anything, you actually do nothing for the next like 2-3 minutes. Because I remember watching this game and you're doing fine. Yeah, you're relieving pressure. Okay, Viper's up, Prophet's up. They're pressuring tier 2. And then tier 2 dies. Okay, still like don't want to fight. Still could smoke. Still nighttime. DK's ulti's about to run out, so that's even stronger that you could do something with. Okay, lanes are in a good position. Kind of you're trying to deal Kura Couriers, but really you want to be killing heroes. Kind of like walking around. Okay, you're trying to play a bit more aggressive, but do you get the point I'm trying to make? Is that, you know, you bought this Ags about 2.5 minutes ago, and yet nothing's happened. I'm
playing as if we're the weaker team at the moment.
Correct, and it's like, what did I put it in my notes somewhere? What did I say? Yeah, power spikes and troughs. So I'm using. So yeah, get Ags on Slark, then plays the same way as he has been the last 10 minutes. Like show me you know you're strong, and it was nighttime as well. Yeah, so I don't. Like a lot of these fights, and I think this was the same in your Void game as well, where this lack of, and then you just TP bottom to carry on farming, I assume, even though there's like 3 heroes here. Yeah, like you're running away from a fight. It looks to me you're running away from a fight. But why?
Yeah, actually, I remember now why. Because I'm hyper focused on we don't have lockdown for Weaver, and that's why I also think I have to buy Abyssal because we don't have lockdown and we don't have anybody buying Hex, etc.
Okay.
And I feel like that Weaver is actually really strong, and if we don't kill him, he will just kill us.
Okay, so
yeah, I see your point. Yeah. I think we have enough damage that Weaver might not be able to do what he wants if I protect Sniper and Viper and survive.
So you make a good point. Weaver is pretty fat, yeah. He's Disperser. He's got Bloodthorn. Like he's pretty strong. He's pretty hard. Now if you
and he doesn't have any defensive items. That's why I think Abyssal and we kill him within 1 stun duration.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of true. It's just that put it this way: if Weaver's team is dead, he will die as well if he shows. If that makes sense. Yes, you're right. You don't have maybe the items or the heroes to deal with Weaver, but to kill him, that is. But you still have heroes that can deal with him. So, for example, like if you hit him or run at him, and hit him, like he won't be able to man up against you like 1v1. Yeah, so you'll win the 1v1 trade. And I know team fights don't simply work as a 1-to-1.
Do you think so?
In the sense that what I mean by that is you won't kill him, but he has no defensive items and he's 1700 HP. That so much so that if he gets stunned or if there's another person hitting him, he's going to be afraid to stay up in the team fight. But really, focusing on the Weaver is less important. It's just that you need to be less caring about what they have and more focusing on what you have. Yeah, like play to your power spikes. You bought this item at 25 minutes and 3 minutes and a team fight hasn't happened. Like I understand you say, oh, we don't have the items or we don't have the spells to deal with it, and sometimes that is true. Like let's say a Timbersaw with like max passive and he's like really strong and we need to wait for Vessel to kill him and we just ignore him, which is fine. You can do that. But in this game here, you need to fight. Put simply, you need to use the strength you have, because there's not an item that is close by that will help you deal with the Weaver. So let's say this Viper is like, I'm like 1,000 gold away from Hex, and then we can kill the Weaver. Okay, then fine, just farm the Hex. But there's no R1 item they're buying that's going to deal with it. So it's only going to get worse in that case. Whereas at least when you have Pounce, you have 2 Pounces, you have your Ags, it's night time, you might be able to get a good fight. The moment you're not doing anything with it is just giving them more time to like put their stamp on the game. Like Prophet dies because you don't want to fight, yada yada. Yeah. If you can't fight now, when can you fight? Yeah, it's that kind of mentality. You just got your best, you got your item that you've been farming for 10 minutes or so. If you can't fight now, you can never fight. You might as well just give up. That's the kind of mentality I have in that respect. Maybe the team fight doesn't go well, but you have vision advantage because it's nighttime. You have 2 Ags, so you can kind of isolate targets and kill them like by yourself. And also you have level 18. Yeah, so your Shadow Dance is longer duration. So and I would have bought a shard as well, so then you have like 8 or 9 seconds of invulnerability.
Yeah, I should have bought shard over Basho.
Yeah, but that's fine. So those are the 2 things I want to say about this game, about power spikes, just kind of keeping that in mind. But there's some stuff I want to talk to you about the AM game as well. I think, was there anything else I wanted to mention? I'm just going to read my notes 1 second. Yeah, I think a lot of it is just this buying a smoke and forcing the fight with your team. Because a lot of the fights that I've seen, both this game, the Drow game, and even the AM game, a lot of the fights are just random. They're like, oh, we just happen to walk into each other, and there's no planning, there's no purpose. Whereas if you buy a smoke and you're like, I'm fighting because it's nighttime and I've got Ags. That's a purpose, that's a reason. Whereas a lot of these fights just happen randomly because of, you just happen to walk into each other. It's like, well, no, you need to be fighting with a purpose, particularly as a carry. Like, I know you don't always feel the most confident in like making a play or captaining him, but I can assure you, like captaining and making plays and making calls is the quickest way to win games, because it kind of unifies your team. Yeah. Because right now, it's like, okay, now you have to wait till, okay, guys, we'll fight when I have Lincolns, whereas like you've already missed a good opportunity to fight and gain an advantage. So push, I think you smoke, but it's like this. But now it's
I just felt, I remember this when I portal. I felt like we're not strong enough yet to fight them head on. That's why after I force rotation spot him, I wanted to portal and fight top in an advantageous situation.
Yeah.
But then the enemy had already moved to mid also, so it didn't work out. But you say I really need to focus on my timings here. I see it.
I think that's big, and also actually there's another thing I have put down, and it applies to every carry game. I think you don't give enough emphasis or respect on Roshan, on Aegis. I mean, Slark isn't like a Roche killer per se, but Tro kind of is. But it doesn't even necessarily matter. It's just that you need to, like, if there's no, so right now in Dota is in a weird meta state where once the tier ones die, and there's kind of no easy objective. Tier 2s are kind of hard to get because of like the double fortify, and they're in kind of an awkward position unless you're really far ahead. So once all the tier 1s die, and you've kind of got your neutral items, the next objective is Roche. That's very obvious. Obviously, Tormentor's about 20 minutes as well. But this Roche is fairly, like, if you get a team, particularly if you have Avenge as well, Roche can die. So just giving it more emphasis and more respect, because once you have this, like, you can do whatever you want in a team fight, but kind of, and this is why it goes back to kind of this whole once you had Ags, like 4 minutes ago, so far. Because if you win a fight with that Ags, like, you just take Roche, and then the next fight becomes easier. But the moment you don't give that a chance is when it gets a bit difficult. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the Slark. Was there any other questions or things you wanted to talk about? We mentioned the Abyssal. This is good, by the way. Like, to me, it shows you're close there. Like, this choice of item is great, because it's like, oh guys, I need to frontline. I need to not die from a burst.
Yeah, I think so like everything that you say makes sense, and it's exactly what I thought about the game in the beginning. But I was actually tilted because of the sniper pick, and then a bit of his playstyle.
So this is good.
I see in the replay that I really make bad decisions because of that. So
yeah,
how do you deal like with tilt in those games? So you feel like the game is played differently than you would have imagined?
That's a great question, actually, and it's something that I struggled with a lot. Because I think me and you were quite analytical, so we think, oh, this is what should happen in an ideal scenario, and when it doesn't go like that because of your teammates are playing a different way or being bad or whatever, it is quite frustrating to calm down. The thing that's helped me the most of that is just focusing completely on my game and hyper realizing, okay, what's my role? Like, asking myself a lot of these questions, because if I ask myself a lot of these questions, what's my responsibility? Okay, how am I going to take fights? How do I set up the fights for my team? What are the limits of my hero? Okay, can I farm this creep wave without dying? What's my itemization? How do I secure Roche? Like, what is the Roche timer? Am I setting the timer? All these different things. What's my target prioritization in fights? If I ask myself all those questions, that immediately puts the focus on me. Whereas the moment I stop doing that is the moment I have time to think about how bad my sniper is, or that pick off sniper was so terrible, or why is my Viper gone Butterfly, or why is my Prophet gone Shadowblade instead of Hex for the Weaver. The moment you stop asking yourself questions, and the moment you stop worrying about your game, is the moment you start flaming everyone else, because you have time to think about it. So the best advice I can give is don't give yourself time to think about anyone else other than yourself, if that makes sense. Because I can assure you that if you do that, you will improve more, and also you'll win more, because you'll play the game that's in front of you, not the game in your schema. Funny enough, actually, like, because you're thinking this game should go like this, and that's your schema telling you the game should go like this. But actually, every game of Dota is unique, and every game of Dota is different. So yes, there are general principles that you can apply, but it's a hard game, it's a complex game, and every game is different. So yeah, it's this kind of paradox kind of thing where, okay, I need to know what I need to do generally, but I also need to play this game because it's a unique game and it's different, But yeah,
that's actually what I like about it, right? So
that's why it's amazing, right? Dota is the best game ever. But yeah, that's the thing here. Come and ball. I think you get this fight and you get out, which is you fight, thinking of fighting, leaving. Yeah, everyone just leaves, I think. So now, even though you're 10k behind, like, the Aegis is pretty strong.
Do you agree with my choice to give Aegis
to
Sniper?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you don't have this Abyssal, I think it's fine, because I don't think if you have a Refresher here, or even if you have BKB, I don't think you die. But having Abyssal, it's a bit more suspect. But I think the Sniper choice is good, because this way, if they do somehow jump on the Sniper, he has 2 lives. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't die anyway.
No, I don't think you do. I think with Refresher as well, you even if you go in a team fight, you're never gonna die. Like either your whole team will die, or they will all die. But with Refresher, you just simply won't die, which is a kind of a good thing to have, you know. Whereas Abyssal Blade, yes, you have. The thing is, like, I understand why you bought Abyssal, because okay, I need to kill this Weaver, but your job is not to kill Weaver. It's this responsibility, and I think that's actually, if there's one thing you take away, it's knowing what your responsibility is in the game. For team fights, for laning, for dealing with creep waves, if you know your job and know your role, that's what you need to do. Because even if you Abyssal this Weaver, is he going to die? Probably not, actually, because you need to chain it with maybe a Venge Stun, which can happen, can not happen, you know. Whereas if you buy a Refresher and you go in and cause chaos and then allow your sniper just to kill everyone because they're all focused on what's happening in the middle here, you're probably going to do better than buying this Abyssal. But yeah, obviously here, like right here, you can you could maybe even go in there if you have like Refresher and just kind of teams near me. But yeah, that's kind of, I'd say, the thing I'd mention most. But I want to get through AM as well if we can. Let's.
I mean, it's been very long already.
Yeah, that's fine. But we'll do AM because
I'm still in for it.
Yeah, I'm still in for it, bro. This one.
Alright.
I said I was going to. And your AM I thought was quite good, actually. It was just there's a few things that I think really made it awkward.
That was the game that's very, very short because it's a storm, right?
Yeah, but it was your best lane, actually.
Yeah,
I thought you played the lane really well. There was just one thing I wanted to mention on the lane in particular.
Yeah, this is a game where I have a particular question about, actually, because I felt that I played the lane like conceptually correct. Of course, there's always something I can do better, but and then I also was aware that my game is going south really fast because of some weird moves, I don't know, lineup. I think there were a few Monkey King rotations that were really awkward for me. So yeah, I tried to really fresher and play active because I felt like the game will collapse way too fast if I don't play active.
Yeah. We'll talk
but
about
yeah, that's my question. Should I do that, or should I in that case go Diffu Manta directly, no Battle Fury?
Yeah,
or should I try focus on hyper farming and not fight at all? I tried to go hybrid.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think generally speaking, it kind of goes back to what does the game need. In this game, I'd say actually your team probably doesn't have the greatest of wave clear, particularly if like Monkey King doesn't buy like Maelstrom or whatever. So I probably would be buying Battle Fury. Obviously, I think the only time as a carry anti-mage where I'd need to buy Diffu and get aggressive early is when the team needs you to fight and join, and you getting Battle Fury will stop that, if that makes sense. So if I remember, I think going Battle Fury would be fine. I think it's just actually the way it happens. You play this lane well. There's just one thing I want to mention, actually, and you do it sometimes here, but sometimes you don't always do it. And it's this idea of like good trades on the lane. So what is a good trade on this lane for you?
When he doesn't have his what's the spell called where AoE damage and
Scorched Earth,
Scorched Earth,
yeah, fantastic.
When he turns it on, I need to go back.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and also just very in a micro sense is this right here. Yeah, like you can hit the Doom without getting hit by the Zeus. Yeah, so because like you're going to do more damage to him than he is to you. Yeah, you have Wraith Band, so you have armor, and you're going to drain his mana as well. Yeah, so that's fine. The moment he clicks W is probably when you need to be a little bit careful. And also, if you can 2v1, even better. Yeah, so like if that can happen, that's even better kind of thing. But you do a good job here actually. Obviously trying to keep him low. You know he's got Q, so you don't have anything to be worried about in the first level because he doesn't have points in Scorched Earth. Your lion friend does a good job. Yeah, I think the first 3 minutes I think you play it really well actually. So here you're also gonna get. I think you get a range creep. This range creep's gonna get denied. Oh no, it doesn't have enough HP. But you're gonna get level 2 here, yeah. And so this again goes back to power spike. So level 2. You're going to be level 2 and they're going to be level 1. So immediately look into like pressure, and I think you do, if I remember, this range creep dies. Okay, so now, yeah, you're looking to do something, but your lion's going to pull, which is fine. So right now I'm thinking, okay, I don't really want to trade because my lion's not with me. So I'd aggro pull here, which doesn't look like you are. You kind of like, you're like standing in the middle getting hit for a little bit. So I'd be like aggro pulling. As in, like, aggro pulling back because my line can't be here. The pull is fine because the wave is pushed, but I would keep in mind that actually you're both level 2 and they're both level 1, so if there was a time to pressure, it probably would be now. So you take some kind of unnecessary damage, like you're not aggro pulling here, so you get hit a little bit, but now here's your level 2. Okay, good pressure, very nice, all good. Again, you're like hitting for some reason, and this is what I mean by trades. That's a very small thing because you actually do very well in this lane, but it's just like you need to realize that okay, lion's not with you actually, and you're like taking unnecessary damage. Like,
yeah, I'm just too slow to realize these kind of things sometimes.
But now lion's here, perfect. Now, okay, and this is the point actually I want to tell you about. So this idea of trades. So lion's here. He hits stun on this Doom, and you do not need to be playing that defensive really. He's just everything like this is the only thing that I said about this lane that was kind of bad. The rest of it is actually really good. As
I realized immediately after I blinked out.
Yeah, as well. it's just bad. Like because there's no burst happening. Like normally the blink, is same as the void as well. You want to use it as late as possible if you can. But there's no burst to be scared of. Like if you don't blink there, you probably just kill him. But it's fine. You know, it's okay. This is all good. You're all fine. I think I'd blink. Yeah. So again, here you know that he doesn't have mana for Scorched Earth, and also it's probably on cooldown. The moment that line hits a stun, I'm blinking in just straight away because I know there's not. And like Zeus is level 1 still, so it's like blink go. But that's normal fine. I think you end up crushing this lane anyway. Actually, if I remember. Gonna get the Lotus, which is good. We talked about that last time. Yeah, blink stun, kill, easy. Yeah, and this is all good. This is all normal. So I remember this guy thinks you're like smurfing or something. It's quite funny.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I like those compliments.
Yeah. Like I said, you play this lane well. It's just a small thing I wanted to mention. But yeah, again, he can't really walk up to the creep wave, and then good pressure, Smurfs. Yeah. You're all good. Okay, I'm gonna keep Spurs forward because I think you're all good.
Yeah, my question was specifically more about from I think around minute 7 or so.
Okay, let's just fast forward. Okay, so you're all good. The only time you need to be somewhat scared really is when this Doom hits level 6. And even then, if you're quick, you can always counterspell it, which is the good thing about AM versus Doom. So you're all good. I don't think you kill him here. I think it's close, but I don't think you kill him, do you? No. It's all good. It's got good pressure. So now is when it starts to get again thinking about responsibilities. So what would you say is your responsibility this game again?
Usually in the beginning of the game, I think, I have Patch and Monkey King Core. They can play aggressively, have high kill threat with Lion and Rubik.
Yeah.
And I'm free to just indulge and farm away, of course, putting pressure on the map whenever I can.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. Is AM a good jungler?
I prefer lanes.
Good. Good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel bad if I have to jungle before I have Battle Fury because it's very inefficient.
Yeah, it's very inefficient.
I was afraid. I think I realized later in game after the Monkey King rotated and ITP mid, I'm afraid to go back mid again because I'm afraid of Doom. And only later I realized that Doom is not level 6 yet.
Good. Yes.
But when I realized that, he's already level 5 and I lost track of when he be level 6, so I'm afraid he turns level 6 when I show up, so I don't go to lane anymore.
Yeah, so also AM is kind of interesting in that he normally isn't a tower defender, but it depends on the enemy offlaner. And in this case, Doom is like level 4, you don't really have to be too much worried until he hits level 6. So you can probably stay in this lane longer than you could on other heroes. Like if you're playing against like a Slardar or something, like that's just the worst.
But that is because we crushed the lane.
Exactly, and because you crushed the lane. Yeah. So with that being said, you in generally you want to try and stay in the lane as long as you can. Obviously, that depends on every single game. So with that in mind, what I'm doing here is I'm buying Cornucopia. So you have some regen to sort of sustain. Yeah,
makes sense.
And whenever you can, try and keep either the Zeus or the Doom's mana low, because if their mana is low, that means their harass is also low. Yeah. There's one other thing you need to be wary of is Nyx level 6 as well, because that can really screw up your lane.
Oh, I remember. That's what fucked my game. Yeah, I died so many times with that.
Yeah, so, and actually, funny enough, you do buy raindrops eventually, but again, this is one of those games where, if you buy raindrops as an anti-mage with magic resist, there's no way he kills you from full to nothing, but because you don't have raindrops early enough, you end up dying a little bit, but... so right now I'm either blinking over and getting this Cornucopia so I can stay in this lane longer. And really, level 5, like similar to Slark actually, AM has sort of strength level 1 because of his mana break, level 2 because he has blink, and then about sometimes level 3 because of counter spell, but 4 and 5 he's not particularly, doesn't have that much kill threat. It changes a little bit when he has mana void. So if there was a time to again allow your line to leave, it probably would be now for the rune to help out mid or to look on pressuring top, because I get the sense, and I think you would feel it too, that you can get this creep wave quite easily without your line being there. Zeus has no mana, Doom has no mana, and you're probably not going to kill them because they also in effect have no mana. Yeah, like your damage comes from them having mana. Obviously they get slowed if they have no mana, but as we saw last engagement,
they can still walk away.
They can still walk away, and that's what happened. Remember, like a couple of, what was it? Back here, was it?
Yeah, I should just go back, farm the wave safely, and
I think is it. I mean, my thing is bugged a little bit, but I think
it's fine. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So okay, let's just fast forward 60 seconds. Okay, so obviously, this is when you leave. Actually, I think you do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see something going on mid right.
I think something happens. Oh yeah, you kill this Zeus, which is great, and it's a bit of a chase, but you do end up killing him, remember. And Monkey King is also here, which is a bit strange. SFT is here, and your TP here is very good. I even wrote it in my notes actually, because for some reason now there's 4 people in your lane. Oh, what did I do? Oh, fun. I accidentally clicked back. Yeah, for now, for some reason, there's 4 people in your lane, and that's like the worst thing as an AM, because you just want to be hitting creeps on a vacation somewhere away from everyone. So this is not very nice. So I think your TP here is fine. We know SF TP'd mid, TP bot, sorry, and so is Monkey King. So this is great. It's just free farm here. So this is a good TP. One thing, and you do actually show it, because I think you TP mid and kill SF a little bit later as well, is that with this, with ulti, you do have TP threat, like as in you TP and just ult someone. But really, that's all you want to do. You just want to be maximising your quickness to Battle Fury. I think you end up dying to... is it here? I don't know if you died to Nyx here.
I died to Nyx here already.
So, and there's actually a way that you know Nyx is here. I don't know if you know... It's not here. It might be a little bit later, actually. Oh yeah, it's after this creep wave that you kill here.
Oh no, there's one time I die even though Nyx is there because the neutral creeps cast their net on me.
Fantastic. Okay, yes, it's right here.
Triangle.
It's also right here as well. So, right here.
Oh yeah, this one, yeah. It only does it with 3 heroes.
But yeah, and has to be an enemy hero as well normally. So
Yeah.
because of that, Nyx is here, and I even put it in my notes actually. But Rubik has a sentry, but there's no one else that can be here because you kind of have vision, so it has to be Nyx. So I am running. Well, first off, I have a raindrop, as I talked to you before.
Yeah.
I'm farming on strength eggs, particularly if this happens,
Yeah.
and I'm telling my Rubik to place a sentry. Because in the end, I think you end up just dying like right here, is it? Or like he waits for you, yeah, you just die.
Yeah.
If you have raindrops, you just simply don't die there. That's just like a fact. I think actually your next TP is to mid. I think you end up killing this SF, which is great because you utilize mana void kind of thing. But I want to talk to you like so. The original TP mid at 8 minutes was actually quite good, because no one is. Where is it? Yeah, it's just after here, isn't it? Yeah. Just fast forward a little bit. And then UTP mid after this killing this creep wave, which is great. So right now this is all fine. So after this creep wave dies though, you just refuse to go back bot, even though like Doom is kind of no longer a threat.
Actually, I plan to farm towards bot.
Okay, and then obviously you got hit by the Nyx gank.
Yeah, so this is my farming pattern towards bot.
Yeah,
it's just delayed through
yeah. It's just
I was on my way back bot.
It's because obviously you crush bot so hard, and like you giving it up is just kind of. I mean, it's great for Doom because look at him, he's still really suffering. And he's also.
I was absolutely not giving up bot. I was as you said, it felt weird. I TP mid. I wanted to walk back bot, and I died on the way.
Yeah, this TP mid is fine. The TP mid is fine because you kill the SF, but I would be running bot instead of top because, as you said to me, you already have this knowledge in your head. Like AM doesn't really want to hit creeps, hit jungle creeps, and you just walk left for some reason. Like after this mid gank, I'd be walking bot. Doom is still level 5. You even have Lion there with Finger, so you even have kill threat. Like
that's what I said in the beginning. I feel like Doom could be level 6 anyway, anytime now, and I will die to his Doom from 100 to 0.
Well, if you're confident enough, like you're a gold player, gold AM, and I think your counterspell usage is pretty good, the only way you die is a stun from Invis from Nyx, because because it's daytime as well, remember, so you're not going to get doomed from fog without using counterspell. Well, you should have the balls to stay bot even if the Doom is there. And just play.
I will 100% die to it. I tried it a lot of times. I just personally, I just cannot read the Doom animation well enough.
Okay, then you do that.
Do you think it's possible to like reliably do that?
If he's pump faking it, and you use it, then it's only
I have to blink out.
Yeah, you just blink out, but it's only a 15-second cooldown. Like what I'm saying is that AM is a good counter to Doom for this specific reason, that he doesn't really have kill threat on you, unless there's like a stun from fog. And in this case, it's like Invis Nyx, it stuns you and then you get doomed.
But the Zeus mini stun is also enough already.
Yeah, there's that, I guess.
And the Doom range is bigger than it used to be. You remember when it was melee range?
I do remember.
I like that, but now it's just so
true. But
huge.
If what I would like my schema is that I'm 1v1 against Doom. There's no way he gets Doom on me because I counterspell it, and if he pump fakes it, I will counterspell and then blink out and then just wait. And then you say, okay, mini stun from Zeus. That is true. If I see Zeus, I immediately will just back off and then either try and look for a gank with my mana void or hit jungle creeps, or depending on where my line is, yada yada yada, go from there. Yeah, but the moment you TP mid,
push my limits here.
Yeah, push my limit, because I think actually you're a gold level anti-mage, and I think this is how you should play. And if you can't seem to get the counter spell, just do it, practice it. Like you're not going to get better if you don't practice it. Like I think you need to push your limits here, and I put that in my notepad as well, because you doing this is far more grief than being bot and then like accidentally not counterspelling the Doom and dying, because once Doom uses Doom, you just TP back bottom and then there's no kill threat. But you doing this allows him to get a game even though he had such a terrible game. Like your top net worth, he's like bottom core and he's kicking you out even though he shouldn't, you know? And it just makes the game really weird a little bit. Okay, you being top, kind of threatening is fine, and you can even tell Pudge to like go do one and just take a lane, because like you need you need Battle Fury, like ideally to farm jungle.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told him actually.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. Like you can jungle a little bit if you have Cornucopia and double Wraith Band, but yeah, it's just not ideal. But then again, you just leave, and then you now you're fighting into a double stack neutral, which you don't. So you're running around. It's like, bro, you just need to be bot. Yes, Doom is level 6, but again, if you're and then you die again to the next. Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But again, if you have raindrops, you're probably not dying. And also, if you're just bot with a sentry instead of running between jungle camps because you don't know where you don't feel confident enough to be bottom, then yeah, it's like there's even a sentry for you here. Yeah, you need to be bottom. And then now this Nyx is just catapulted. Yeah, like you had such a good laning phase and just kind of through it quite a lead, I'd say, honestly, from going just from these few interactions here. And it happens. AM is a very feast or famine kind of hero, to be honest. Because now, even though you crushed the Doom, he's now climbing up. He was bottom net worth, now he's middle net worth. He's level 7, he's got his stuff. Again, you to be mid, which sort of tells me you don't want to be bottom, but I'd say you should be bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, but just a small thing as well. I see you don't get your level 10 talent until very late, but that 9 strength from AM is better than a second point encounter spell, by the way, just because of diminishing returns. Level 10 AM, like 9 strength instead of 10 magic resist, it's actually not 10% magic resist. It's more like.
Did I not take it at
nah,
level 10?
I think you take it like level 50. Let me just skip through. I think you take it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's of course Grief versus the Nyx burst.
Yeah, so you still don't have it, and you put more points in counter spell. Like, I'd be taking it at 10. This is good though, like realizing you need stats here for strength. But yeah, just because of diminishing returns, I think it goes from 48% magic resist to 55. So yeah, so one point gave you what, like 7? Yeah, 7% magic resist, which is nowhere near as much as 9 strength on health. Yeah, it's just a small thing, but it's something that I mentioned, like I remembered. What else I want to talk to you about? The next thing that I think is pretty game losing was at 26 minutes actually, and again it goes back to this power spike on timings. So I think okay, no, it's before this actually, not 26 minutes. It's when you buy a like when you just have mana. Okay, so you close the mana. So really, like you don't really want to fight too much on AM until you have mana. But when you get mana, again, you're not showing me that you're like strong. Is this good? Obviously. Oh no, close. Not enough though. Where is it? Okay, mana bought. So you have mana coming out. Pudge is up. Zeus is dead as well. If there was ever a time to smoke and fight, you have mana void coming up. Gonna hit level 15. Again, it's now. Yeah, using this power timing to maybe do something. If you're trying to help out your team, like this is the item to do it with. Like one stun from line plus mana void, you'll kill anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. But I think you just kind of chill, farming a little bit, and then you start building into Skadi, which is good against SF, but probably in this kind of game, I think Ags is really good on AM actually, just because it allows you to kind of poke from distance, which is something that AM never has the ability to do normally.
And with the patch and the Monkey King frontlining, that I think I try to buy Aghanims, but very late, and when I think of it, I think in my head I should have thought of this earlier.
Yeah, I think Ag is just really strong. It allows him to kind of poke, because AM is, you want to like jump on and isolate a target, and by throwing the Ags, it allows you to isolate targets because people are focused and kind of starts poking them from a distance.
Also force reactions.
Yeah, force reactions, all these kind of things, you know. But it's still I think this game ends quite abruptly because I think you die twice back to back. Oh, there's a fight happening. But yeah, like here, obviously this goes two ways. Like if your team is here, you need to be here, but at the same time, they probably shouldn't be here unless they have smoke and they're fighting like for a reason. Yeah, because you're trying to push out mid and they're fighting for no reason. But this just goes back to like it's going to sound harsh, but your team are idiots. Yeah, like you just got to think like that way. Make it easier for them by saying, "Hey guys, I know you want to fight. Let's fight around my mana." But by just allowing the time to go on, they're going to keep running their heads against the wall, and it's going to happen at an unopportune time, i.e. now, where the smoke isn't there, and like all these spells are being used, and now obviously you don't want to join bot because they're already dead like before. Whereas if you're smoking together, then maybe something can happen. Yeah, like, I know you try and
but
join
it's
over,
the situation where I actually wanted to make a play, like as you said, because I had this in mind when I had Manta, and they just had gotten kills. But we had 2 lanes pushed into us, so I felt it would be a bad play. Also, I didn't want to make a play bottom because we still need to take the tier 1 top.
Yeah, these are all true things.
Do you think? But would you have TP? Just TP bottom when you saw your team going there after you got Manta?
Well, the moment I have Manta,
like at minute 22:10 or something.
Okay, so like this guy's died. I think Pudge. Or maybe he doesn't die actually. No, he does. Yeah. So man, I'm obviously looking wherever there's an opportunity to go. When Rubik is up,
this situation is over, so now I feel like focus on lanes, and then we can go together again.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine. It's just I'd like sometimes if there's a smoke in the shop, I always just carry it, and it looks like there's 3. I think unless it's bugged.
Yeah, I need to start just having one.
Yeah, because it's good for many reasons. One, obviously you can force the fights because like everyone doesn't want to play as a team, but the moment you click smoke, everyone joins together. So that's why it's good.
Okay, having the smoke conceptually I understand, but even if I had a smoke on me, in this situation it doesn't look to me as if we want to smoke now because we have killed 2 of them.
Correct.
We need to push waves.
Yes. I definitely agree with you there. It's just, first off, the 3 smokes in the shop is the same as like having 4 wards in the stock. You're kind of wasting smoke. Yeah. Okay. You understand how that works, yeah? Like.
Yep.
Good. Okay. But yeah, so I'd agree. I'd push out bot, and ideally, if there's a fight to happen, where would the fight happen on the map? Where would you like it to be?
Top.
Yep. Good. Yeah. Top is really where it wants to be. They're all bot, so yeah, it's not ideal. For some reason, like there's no reason for them to be bot because they're not defending the tower. Because they're just pushing it actually, and the fight should be top because you have an objective here.
And at this time, I'm still in my bracket. Everything is happening slowly, right?
Yes.
Also myself a lot of times.
Yeah.
So at this moment, I'm still thinking, what is going on? I hope my team will portal and we go top. So.
Yeah. So that's ideal.
But you would already TP bottom.
No. I wouldn't TP bottom. I would TP mid actually, because I can connect bottom. If I need to, but I'm also
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so because I can blink over bottom, but if I TV bottom, I'm forced bottom, and then like the fight has to happen, and then you're forcing it. Whereas if I TV middle, I can relieve mid pressure, and I can also farm.
And by the time the enemy is alive, I can be with my team if we want to.
Correct. Yeah.
I have the options. Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
I see it.
Like like if you're a different carry hero, maybe that's not the play. Like maybe you're a void, maybe you do have to TP bottom. But if you're an AM, TPing mid here, you clear out mid and you can connect with blink. But because I think or I would just stay top as well. I mean it's risky because you don't know where anyone is. Okay, Nyx is TPing now, Slark's shown bot, so is the Zeus. Like I'd maybe think about that. But this is kind of acceptable. But I would be just telling my team. Or even getting my Lion to come with me. Like you're playing with your Lion, yeah. So like he's on comms. So if he's top, maybe you can set something up. Like Nyx is showing on a lane, which is very rare. So maybe something can happen. But yeah, you need to be kind of doing something really. Like either you're pressuring on lanes, or you're fighting as an AM. Like you have to be doing something because you're not the strongest team fighter, obviously. Like as say like a void. But I mean, in somewhat, your pressure did do something. It forced the Nyx top, so at least the Nyx is not bottom, which is something. And you are trying to come, but the process just happens just a little bit too late. Yeah, like whereas if you TP'd mid, then this would maybe look a bit different.
Yeah.
You didn't. Yeah.
I see it.
But yeah, so there's that. It's where I think is it another time as well? 26 minutes. I think actually there's when they all revive here. Okay, here, yeah, this is here. Okay, perfect. So I think around here all you're all alive. If there was something to do, it maybe is now, because it gets to the point in this stage of the game where it's like mid-game lanes are okay, not amazing, but you don't really care about bot because this tower's going to fall anyway because it's a catapult wave, and you see enemy heroes on 2 different wards, so they're split. Yeah, so really you kind of need to be either pushing top, relieving pressure top, or fighting with your team, because it gets and I even wrote it down. You need to smoke, otherwise your team's going to kind of take a fight without you. You see, there's 2 heroes top, and there was a hero on Zeus as well. So you need to be here really.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. This is not your fault, but it is preventable by you. What I mean by that is they probably shouldn't fight here without you. Okay, but if you so it's not necessarily your fault, it's also their fault, but you could also prevent it by being here with them. Like, you're not really waiting on an item, you're also not really relieving pressure, you're just hitting jungle, so kind of you're doing nothing. Whereas if you're top, maybe something can happen.
Okay, so this is, you say, game specific. I cannot really relieve pressure as long as I don't see Nyx, because I can still die to Nyx +1.
Correct. So because you can't relieve pressure,
inefficient, so I need to group up with my. It's like in the replay from the last time.
Perfect. Yeah. Because you can't, like, when everyone's off the map, if you're just showing on a lane by yourself, maybe Nyx is there with Doom. Nyx stun, Doom, you're dead. Like, well, okay. But then you need to play with your team until something happens. So until something shows. And actually here you have quite an advantageous fight, because you have ward vision, and you've known about this ward vision, and they've been showing on vision for the last minute or so. Everyone's spawning. Zeus is showing bot. SF is mid. So if there ever was a good time, actually it's probably now. Okay, you're like kind of getting mana, getting health. Okay, fine. It's like here is when it becomes a bit weird. I think when you blink. Okay, this is still kind of fine. This is fine. Okay, so after this creep camp is when I'm probably like walking top, because you can't relieve bottom because you don't want a TP, which is fine. But you're not going to be there in time, so you're kind of doing nothing.
We see Zeus is not there, so top might be good.
Okay, Nyx is there, Doom's there. You blink a farm here. So right now, this is not helping your team again. You need to be here. Okay, so again, so now it's 10 seconds. 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, if you're here, something can happen. Okay.
Yeah, I see.
Like, do you see the difference? Okay, now you're here. Now you're relieving pressure, which is great. You're doing something now, but the fight's already happened. It's like this is 30 seconds too late. So really, like, I'd rather you be relieving pressure on a lane and end up dying, because at least you're doing something, than playing too defensive and just farming jungle where you're not like helping or relieving pressure, and I think in your bracket as well, you'll be able to get away with more in terms of like pushing the limits on split pushing, because really they need to organize and be planned to have 2 heroes on top of you at the same time, which is a little bit rare. Yes, they can kill you if no one's showing, but you probably get more. But the moment, like, let's say if you're here 30 seconds ago pushing and relieving this wave, this probably doesn't happen. But because this happens 30 seconds late, then this has enabled them. Again, it goes back to what we talked about before. Their waves is pushed in, top and mid, and even bot. And so because of that, they have nowhere else to be but here. And where are you? Well, not here. So because you're trying to relieve pressure, but it's because you're a bit late. Yeah. And at this point,
noob AM AFK farming. Actually, right.
it's kind of like that. Like AM is a tough hero, because either you can, and I like AM a lot, but there's games where it's very difficult, and it's a hard hero to really do. Okay, now you're relieving pressure. Someone's TP'd, but you can't do anything because your whole team's dead.
Yeah, it was just too slow.
So it's just too slow. So it's just that kind of that mentality. But yeah, that's what I would probably say about this.
Yeah, it's good that you point that out again. I think I'm like, that's something I feel like a trend. I'm generally too slow to recognize situations where I cannot put pressure on the map, and I have to join my team because of that. This is one of those scenarios.
Yeah.
I'm always so hesitant to do that when I'm so far behind, and I feel like even though I have Manta, I can still die in a heartbeat.
You can.
And also Pudge has a bad game, but it's still the best play to make, right?
Yeah. Of course, you can die it, but the thing is that of course, if they are sitting on top of you and they are there, well, then you're going to die. But you still have to make that play, because if you're not making that play, then it griefs the game in other ways. Like what happens is if you go bot and you're trying to relieve pressure and all of them are on top of you and you die, when it's like, well, okay, I'm dead. Like there's not much else you can do really, because if you're not doing that, then no one else can do it, and no one else can really play their game. You just have to hope. That they're not all on top of you, and it's unlikely that they are, because it's really for it to happen perfectly is actually probably the Nyx and the Doom. Maybe the Nyx and the Slark can also do it, but it's a very unique set of circumstances. And I talked to you about this last game actually, or last time I talked. It's about pushing the limits and knowing the locations of heroes that kill you or that can have threat on you. Nyx is probably the biggest one, because if it's just the Doom, you probably can counterspell it, because the Nyx is the stun. Yeah, so actually, the two spells that really threaten you is the pounce from Slark and the stun from Nyx, because those are the ones that trap you from blinking out. Yeah, like everything else does a lot of damage, but you can always blink away from it. But if you know where the Slark is or you know where the Nyx is, then that enables you to do other things. But yeah, it's kind of slow to put pressure on the map, and then and I think BSJ talks about it as well. Like if a fight happens that's bad, something probably went wrong from the carrier's perspective 30 or 60 seconds before, and in this case it was, you weren't really in bot or you weren't the top, and he's right in what he says, because as a carry,
and between those two, now from the replay, I feel like I should have chosen to be with my team. Would you also prioritize that in that scenario?
Yes, I would. I think, because you have the items to do it. Yeah, like look, you're doing a fair bit here.
This was a good fight.
Yeah, it's just obviously now you're 10k behind. And then it becomes difficult. And to be honest, as when you play AM, if the game looks like this now, there's not much you can do really. Like yes, you could split push and try and delay it and hope for a miracle, but something's gone wrong already at this point. But yeah.
What would you say was the biggest blunder of me in this game? Was it like dying to Nyx when I should have anticipated that? And
I think honestly the biggest blunder is this giving up on this bot lane. And like it kind of links in with, I mean, it's this TP here. Okay, now this TP was fine because they're all bottom. It's obviously here,
and then you just have to go back faster. Not even jungle in between.
Yeah. So I mean, you can jungle here because SF is still bottom. So is Monger King. Maybe you can stay for the next wave. It's just obviously dying. Those two Nyx deaths honestly does grief your game a lot, because then you start. It just changes the whole mentality of the game and the whole landscape. Whereas if you didn't die twice, either one by having raindrops, so then Nyx simply can't kill you, and that makes you 100 times stronger if just Nyx simply can't kill you from solo, and also then not giving up bottom, because then your pressure is immediately gone, and then you'll feel like you're playing on the back foot from then on basically, and then also not fighting when you have mana, because then the game is like fairly even even when you had mana. I think, like, where is it? It's like, you're like
23 or so.
Yeah, 2k net worth is fine, but these small not fighting on your power spikes, and then also these things just after laning phase, these TPs where you're playing on the map where you should be pressuring, does have a big impact from then on. But that's so just those two things we talked about, I'd say are the biggest things on this AM game for sure. But I've made a few notes that I can send you as well. That I think
great.
Sure.
You also said you are recording this, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it on the YouTube, so you can always look back at it as well. So, cool. Is there any other things you want to talk about?
Man, it's been 2 hours already.
Sorry,
I don't want to keep you any longer.
No, you're all good, bro. It's always good. No worries, bro. If any other questions though before I get off?
Like the main question was if you see any overarching pattern, like between the replays.
Yep.
Something that like that I'm specifically unaware of or consistently bad at?
Yes, I've written in the document, and what I put here is like knowing your carry hero's responsibilities. So from the laning phase, but also in like team fights, kind of pushing the limits and setting up for fights as well by dealing with the waves, and this power spike. Those are probably the three main ones. So I'm gonna like highlight them and put them at the top of my of notes so that you see them first. Yeah, power spikes, knowing your carry hero's responsibilities, and then kind of this putting the pressure on the map or alleviating pressure and being faster at it, kind of thing. Those are probably the main three. I would say for sure.
All right.
Cool. Right, GG, bro. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you a lot, man.
Yeah, just so I think going forward, well, there's some easy things I think I'd like you to do. Like if we do another replay, please buy a smoke. That's your goal as a carry. Please have a smoke.
I did it like 2 or 3 times already, like in 20 games.
Good. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So buy a smoke. So the next replay I want to see at least you have a smoke on you.
Yeah.
And then also keep in mind your responsibility throughout the game. And then also these show me that you know when you're strong. So in terms of your power spikes and also your troughs as well. So like playing defensive when I'm at a trough or a low point, and then playing aggressive or strong when you have these power spikes. So yeah, cool.
All right.
Wonderful.
According to strength.
Yes. Right. GG, bro. Thanks again.
All right. Yeah. Thank you too.
I'll catch you later. Yeah.
Keep well. Have a good evening.
You too, bro. GG.
Bye.
Bye.